What's up guys, this is Javen with Tech Unit, and if you followed our last video, you know that I swapped out my iPhone last week for the OnePlus X, which is OnePlus's most budget-friendly phone. And I swapped out this for a week, and I used it as my daily driver as such. So after a week, these are my thoughts on the device. First of all, I have to say that screen has kept me captivated all week with its pungent, saturated colors. It looks really nice for only being a 1080p display. The build of the phone is really awesome with the glass and metal. It feels like an expensive phone even though I know it's not. That's really what it's got going for it, as well as the Oxygen OS that's found in all OnePlus's devices with that shelf, and the customization and the settings. You can customize all the colors and the buttons and have real buttons, or you could have on-screen buttons, just different things. There's all sorts of customization there. And the notification slider that is on the side has been a really big, tremendous help, because you can choose to have no notifications, or only certain people you want to receive notifications for, or just to have all the notifications that you can have. So those are some good things that I really enjoyed using over the past week with this phone, but there were some cons as you start to realize that it is a budget smartphone. The first thing I noticed right off the bat was the battery life. I've only been using this phone for about half of the day, and it's already at 52%, so I had to charge it about halfway through the day so that I can get a full day's use out of it. The performance is the other thing that kind of a little bit lacked in performance for me, and I realized this has 3 gigs of RAM, but I don't know, it just seemed like it kind of glitched up a lot. Even on Wi-Fi with maybe like Instagram or playing games, things like that, it seemed like it had a little bit of a problem with performance. The other thing that was kind of big, because I take a lot of photos and video, is the camera. I noticed that the camera actually took pretty decent pictures, and I want to say decent because they weren't great, but they weren't terrible. They were pretty decent. The video was pretty good, a little bit shaky, especially there was no stabilization. It seemed like the slow-mo and time-lapse didn't seem very good until, oddly enough, I put it in my phone, my other phone, my iPhone, and I played back the videos that I'd recorded on the OnePlus. They seemed a lot better, a lot smoother, especially the video and the time-lapse. When I played them back on the OnePlus, it seemed really choppy, but when I played them back on my iPhone, they seemed really nice and smooth. So I don't know, maybe it's just the video playback quality on the phone, because I did notice watching YouTube videos and things like that, it seemed to have some frame rate drop when I was watching these videos. So it could be just the video playback in the phone that was causing that, but the camera was still decent. The other thing that I noticed, that the audio card inside the phone might not be the best, because when I plugged it into my car stereo auxiliary cord, I noticed that I had to turn up the volume really high to get the same amount of sound out of the phone as I normally do with any of my other phones or tablets. It just seemed like I had to turn it up a lot higher to get that same sound. And then without an audio cord, you'd play through the speaker, and the speaker, as to be expected, it's a little kind of tinny speaker, so you got okay sound out of it. And another thing was the charging. Like I said, I had to charge it probably halfway through the day to maintain battery all day, and it was not fast. It was decently okay. It wasn't really slow like other phones I've seen, but it wasn't fast, and it definitely wasn't fast charging. So the charging was subpar, but it was still okay. And I did like that it has a little notification light that gives you notifications when it's charged, so it doesn't light up the whole display, or you don't have to check. You could just see if it was like yellow or green, and then you could tell. But overall, this phone, it's actually a really good phone. So for its price point, it delivers a lot of high-end specs that you wouldn't normally see on a phone at this price. I'm not even sure that I could find a phone that works as well as it does for its price. So I would definitely recommend it to anybody who wants something that's really cheap but still a smartphone. Maybe if you're traveling out of the country or something. It's got the dual SIM cards, so if you want a little cheap phone that you can use and get a lot of use out of, I would definitely recommend this phone. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, make sure to give a like and leave a comment in the comments. Subscribe for more content, and thank you for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next video.